But we start with Ariel Martinsen, who had a very good race in Germany and was eventually going to drive in the A final. But here in his first heat he's placed among a lot of slower cars, and as he's trying to pass the back markers, he's losing quite some time.
Yes, the back markers are actually from the previous race, because the organisers were running 2 heats at a time with about a 10-20 second gap in between. And now Martinsen, we see, has actually caught up the back markers from the previous race, and he's having an awful lot of difficulty in getting past them. It's not really as easy as it looks.
No, he was starting 20 seconds behind them, but still he's catching up, and he's losing quite some time here.
Yes, he actually eventually managed to qualify for the B final, but I think if he hadn't have been held up so much, he would have probably made the A final with no trouble at all. And there again we see yet another problem for the Norwegian driver. However, Martinsen wasn't the only driver to have problems during the day. Both the leaders, Alamaki and Arnesson, had hit trouble very early on. So, by trying extremely hard, Schanche found himself making some very uncharacteristic mistakes, as we see here. But then again, so did a number of other drivers. These are the third qualifying heats, and for Alamaki there in the lead, he's had troubles earlier on, and this is his final chance of qualifying for the A final. The Porsche driver gets an immediate lead, and he's pulling out a considerable distance over his fellow Porsche driver, Bernhard Karl from Germany. But very shortly he's going to hit trouble. And also, right behind him, 20 seconds later, Ole Arnesson, who's also had problems. This is also his final attempt at qualifying for the finals, and he's very, very slow off the line. He's got problems with the engine, and with the turbocharger in particular, and he's only got about 150 brake horsepower available in that car.
And for the first time in this season, he is behind Peltari.
And there, this is the point where for Alamaki, this meeting is virtually all over. He's lost drive to the rear wheels, as we'll see in a second, and as Bernhard Karl goes by into the lead, the Finn must be thinking that possibly this is where he loses the championship he's virtually taken. He pulls off the circuit eventually, he tries to go, but his front wheels are spinning, there's nothing from the rear, and that is just about it. He's had it for the day, and he must be thinking now he's also had it for the rest of the year. Meanwhile, Arnesson comes round. He too is in trouble. He's got no power from the engine, and he finds that he can't stay with them. And there you see the engine, the turbocharger has in fact blown up completely. But still Arnesson continues, because he knows that it's just a faint chance that he might make the C finals. And then, who knows, if the engine is repairable, he might be able to continue. But as he comes over the line, the race is finished for him. He finds that he hasn't qualified, and both Alamaki and Arnesson are out of this particular meeting, and for Martin Schanche, suddenly he finds himself with another crack for the championship lead. The Norwegian makes a very good start in his third qualifying heat. He gets in front of Seppo Niittymaki, but he's under extreme pressure now to do very, very well, and as he goes into the bend, we see he makes a very uncharacteristic mistake, one of many during the day, and he's very, very lucky not to roll the car. The sandbanking stops him, but he's down to last place. He's only just made the finals, he finds out at the end of the race, but it was a very, very close thing for the 4 times European champion. Way down at the back of the field we see Martin. He's chasing hard now, but maybe he's now beginning to compose himself. He's made the mistake, maybe he's got his nerves over, and he's able to now concentrate on the racing. He knows what will happen if it doesn't all come together for him, so he's really got to watch what he's doing and take his driving carefully in this particular round.
Martin certainly had nerves before this round, but I think it's settled now, and we'll see him flat out in the finals again.
And as Seppo Niittymaki comes across the line to take the checkered flag with Rolf Nilsson second and the VW of Michael Nordstrom third, we see Martin there. He's caught up a little bit at the end.